So who remembers the Blackberry?
Before Apple, there was Blackberry. From presidents and politicians to celebrities and CEOs, the phones with the signature keyboard quickly became a status symbol at the office and beyond.
Let's rewind back to the late 90s, early 2000s, where a company from Canada called Research in Motion had one of the hottest products on the market. That product was the Blackberry.
New Blackberry, huh?
Yeah.
Me too. How sick is the web browsing? All the apps, GPS, video.
If you were a business owner, or maybe you were just into high-tech toys, you probably had a Blackberry. The Blackberry was so popular that the slang term that it picked up was crackberry because it was so addictive. Fast forward to 2007, when a new groundbreaking product was released. That product was the iPhone.
An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not three separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
I remember that day like it was yesterday. Steve Jobs announced a product that would change smartphones moving forward. One of the things that he talked about was how the real estate on the screen was just too small. It was an innovative product, talking about the Blackberry, but it was just too small. And then he realized half of the real estate on that screen was taken up by that keyboard.
I mean, here's four smartphones, right? Motorola Q, the Blackberry, Palm Treo, Nokia E62, the usual suspects. And what's wrong with their user interfaces? Well, the problem with them is really sort of in the bottom 40 there. It's this stuff right here.
He wanted to innovate the smartphone and have it become adaptive.
They all have these keyboards that are there whether you need them or not to be there. And they all have these control buttons that are fixed in plastic and are the same for every application. Well, every application wants a slightly different user interface, a slightly optimized set of buttons just for it. And what happens if you think of a great idea 6 months from now? You can't run around and add a button to these things, they're already shipped. So what do? It doesn't work because the buttons and the controls can't change. They can't change for each application, and they can't change down the road if you think of another great idea you want to add to this product.
Why limit yourself to such a small space and have the keyboard always in the way when you can come up with a product that would only show the keyboard when we needed it?
Take this to a mobile device. But what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen.
After the release of the iPhone, there were so many people that were saying, this is never going to take off. This is never going to be one of those things. People know what they want, and we're providing what they want. But in pure Apple fashion, Steve Jobs announced a product that nobody knew they wanted or nobody knew that they needed until he told them. So how does the story of the Blackberry affect you as you're marketing for your business? Well, first of all, a lot of people out there in this space have been doing this for a long time. They rely on their ways that are tried and true, which is great. Make sure you call your leads. Make sure you work your book. Make sure that you go out there to events. At the same time, be sure that you embrace new ways of marketing. Social media, like we're doing, video, photography. Think of the next innovative breakthrough and don't necessarily laugh it off as, that could never work in this space. I don't need to do that. I don't need to innovate. I don't need to change. If you're not a TikToker, jump on TikTok. See what it's like. If you're not on Instagram, start making Instagram reels. I love it. I think Instagram's great. If you're not a social media person, start marketing yourself on social media in addition to the things that have been working. Because nowadays, we have to know and stay ahead of these things and embrace them, or else we will be left behind.